Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Piplink's Digital Solutions. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Piplink's Digital Solutions. Now, for today's episode, we are going to tackle about SEO content writing tips that could pump up your 2021 Google rankings. Now, without further ado, let's go to tip number one. Now, on tip number one, write to the right people with the right keywords. This means that as a content writer, make sure that you really know your targeted audience for you to be able to write content that is relatable to them and that perks their interest. Now, tip number two. Focus on your content's readability. What does that mean? It means that your content should convey in a clear voice with clarity. And when you do so, make it logical, make it facts-laden, but conveyed in a simple and understandable language. And when you do that, make sure the content is thoroughly organized and structured so that it could be easily understood and comprehensible by your audience. Now let's go to tip number three. Now, when you do your content writing, go deeper into your content. Now, what does that mean? It means that you do not merely scratch the surface of the topic. Go deeper, dig further. Now, how are you going to do that? Well, due to research that comes from credible sources. Now, do not solely rely on what you get online. There are other sources that you can take, that you can have inspiration from. Now, how are you going to do that? In writing a deeper content for your copy, you write ultimate guides and tips, and that is the most go-to search for your audiences. Now, when you do so, write it in the long form words, say a minimum of 2,000 words. Now, when you do so, explore topics, choose topics that has different facets so that it could perk the interest of your audience. And also, exceptional depth and quality content coverage ranks higher. How are we going to do that? Again, by doing research and back it up, and do not forget to cite the authors. Okay, now let's go to tip number four. Improve your page speed. Audience who wanted to read your content do not want to have a page that uploads slowly. So how are you going to do that? These are the things that you need to avoid. Avoid uploading videos. Avoid having many pop-up ads. Avoid having scripts or coded pieces or JavaScripts, because that could surely slow down your page speed. Now, how about tip number five? Now, for tip number five, make sure that your content has visual images, because for your audience, visual matters. Do not forget that most of your audiences are visual learners. Now, how are you going to do that? They say that when you add visual images into your content, the article with images gets 94% more views than those without. That could surely pump up your rankings into the Google SEO. And these also complement the copy to have more SEO access. Okay, now let's go to tip number six. Now, for tip number six, when you do your copywriting, your content writing, provide them with facts, and do not forget to cite the resources you have. Go straight to an original study and pull out the awesome statistics that you probably cited and add those into your content. Why is that so? Because that adds the trustworthy and the credibility factor for SEO content in research. Okay, and let's get to tip number seven. Now, you need to format your online content for the featured snippets. By the way, what are those featured snippets? These are the ones that appears when you research or do some research on Google. So that is a part of a content or a write-up that appears in Google. How are you going to do that? Make sure that your content answers questions definitively. The content should be readable, well written, full of statistics, and thorough. And to make it easier for you, just use numbers and have your content in bulleted form. Okay, and last but not least, we have tip number 8. Be the expert. Nothing could go wrong and nothing could beat if the writer has a first-hand experience about the topic. Okay, so you will not run out of words to write on. And that's all for now for our topic for today. Please don't forget to follow and subscribe on the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Bye for now.